Hello guys, it's Blackrat from 287 and welcome to the channel. So today we're gonna do the video about the two new heroes, the SX22. And I'm really happy because I have a new phone, so now you can see it's so much nicer because my old phone was dying. You can see it. Pretty. It was really dying, so it was very slow when I was recording. It was super hard, always crashing. It was a pain in the ass. Now I have a new phone, so it's so comfortable. So let's go for the two new heroes and let's see what we have. So we got two new heroes for the next season, which are Robin Hood and Tura Cartel. So let's start with Robin Hood. And let me say, when I saw the art, I was really laughing. I mean, he's a little bit ridiculous, right? I mean, don't know. Really not the kind of hero that I would ask to protect me. But whatever. So we have Robin Hood, which is considered as a support and as an archery. Let's go right for the skills. And we have Hawkeye, and each is a pre-battle skill, so also something who can't be silenced, can't be stopped. We have a range of 4, so it's a buff for your friendly squads. So all your archer squads gain the divination effect when dealing skill damage, the chance of destructive strike plus 35% for 2 rounds. So destructive strike, it's hard to say, it's a critical. Basically, it's just a critical. So you have plus 35% chances of critical, which is good for 2 rounds. But this skill tells us 2 things. So to analyze quickly how to pair this hero, you guys need to read carefully the skills because it gives you a lot of ideas. So we can see that this only works for Archer. Okay, so if you're going to play another type of hero, if you play him on mixed legions, it's not going to affect the others. So it means that maybe it can't be paired with other type of troops. So probably only going to be played with the full archery. And then we have, so he's going to make the skills to have critical, not the basic attacks. So you're not going to pair also heroes who are based on the basic attack damage. You're going to obviously pair him with heroes who have skill damage, who use the skills to make damage. So you're not going to use, for example, Spectra Reaper, which is an archery who is fully based on basic attacks. This is not going to be that great. So then we have the classical Resistance Might, and we have Swift Ranger, and it's a pre-battle skill. Again, it's a buff for your ally, so of course he's a support, so he's going to give buffs. So in the first 4 rounds, your front row squad going to act first, so he's going to attack first, with a 75% chance to ignore the enemy's dodging effects when dealing damage. So dodging, there's heroes who have dodging. Of course, they can evade the attacks, and this is going to make that you're going to ignore the evasion. For example, Hunk have this, they have evasion. So if the skill gets cast, so 75% highest chance, you're going to, like Hunk, not going to be able to dodge. So interesting, okay. So when dealing damage, the middle row squad gonna take minus 30% physical damage and minus 30% fatal blow damage. So okay, it's just gonna make your middle row to be more tanky. 30% of physical damage is not bad actually. It's a good buff. It's a good buff. Yeah. So in the first rounds, your squad's gonna be more tanky, especially the middle. The middle are gonna be more tanky, and then the back row squad's gonna do plus 35% skill damage and enter the sober statue. Okay, there's a lot of things. So this means one thing, that the legions that you're going to put him it's going to be important to be strong in the first rounds because you're going to abuse of these bonuses. So you're going to have more skill damage on your back row, and you're going to have more tankiness on your middle row, and your front row going to ignore the dodging effect and attacks first. So this is important also to know with who we're going to pair. But we're going to come back for this after. So then here we have the classical. So 15% might and resistance, HP 15. Well, the classical, nothing important. Now we have also might. And for the last skill, it's a combat skill. So it's the first combat skill we have for him. He have a range of 5, so he can hit everyone, even if he's in the back row. So he targets one random enemy squad. So it's one squad. So you have 100% chance. So it's going to be all the time this skill going to work unless he gets silenced. He's going to do 550% damage to the enemy squad with the highest might. So the hero in the opposite legion who have the most might is going to target him, making the squad's might minus 300. That's a lot, actually. That's really a lot. Minus 300, it's a lot. Stackable, so you can get lasting for 2 rounds, so you can get 600. You can get 600 might reduction. It's a lot. It's really a lot. Lasting for 2 rounds. So meanwhile, restore troops power, recovery rate 225% for one of your random squads. There's a lot of things. If the squad's HP is below 75%, applies a shield effect additionally, allowing the squad to take a minus 50% damage in the subsequent incoming attack lasting 2 rounds. There's so much things. Okay, it's not complicated. So you have 1% chance to do this damage on the enemy who have the highest might. So usually it's going to be the hero who do the most damage, the back row, usually it's going to be this. You're going to reduce his might, so it's going to do less damage. So if you reduce the might, but let's think something. If you reduce the might of one of the legions, in the next round he's not going to have the biggest might, so it's probably going to be going for another hero, because the hero already going to be reduced. So I don't think it's going to be stackable on the same hero. I don't think it's going to be possible. That's need to be tested. And then when you're going to cast this, you're going to heal one troop for 225. It's a lot of heal. Really a very, 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 very good heal for one of your guys. So this is random. And if the guy have the health below 75, you get a shield who's going to make the guy to take minus 50% damage for 2 rounds. It's a big, nice skill. Very complete. The only damage that he have, so he's not a lot focused on the damage because that's the only source of damage that he's gonna make. So the skill himself is good. It can be silenced, of course. There's 100%, but you can be silenced. But the skill is really nice. So when I look at the hero, I like the last skill. But the thing with this hero, I was researching for combos, and it's very hard to find combos that can work with him because he's normally not going to be good for mixed legions. You need to pair him with heroes who do skill damage, and also you basically don't need someone who already do destructive strike, actually, because it's going to increase the chance. But you can have a hero who don't have any destructive strike, and it's going to just add someone on him. Actually, so, well, the only thing is that, because when you look at the recommend legion, actually that's the first thing that I would think. If it was not there, it was absolutely legion I would give to you guys, because of Sakura increased the damages a lot in the first rounds, the 3 first rounds, if I'm correct. And also we have this boost on the 4 rounds, which is really big. So it could really be important to have an early Legion. Like an early Legion means a Legion who's going to attack a lot on the first 4 rounds, who's going to be more tanky, who's going to do more damage, who's going to really kill very fast to the opponent. So I would imagine Sakura, because Sakura also have skill damage, and she do a lot of damage actually in the first rounds with her skills. So it could be important to give her the destructive strike. And of course, it will be super nice to have Boudica because of this, because the fact that she's going to be able to attack first and to avoid the dodging effects, because she does a lot of damage and she does a lot of skill damage also. So it's going to be very beneficial for her because also of this, because of the 35% bonus on the skill damage. So for me, this Legion is really... would be the main Legion, I would say. Boudica, Sakura, Robin Hood, because of course Robin Hood not going to be there to do the damage. It's going to be 100% the damage source going to be Boudica, and also helped a bit by Sakura. So this Legion probably going to be really good for him. Then I would imagine another Legion, probably with Boudica, Robin Hood on the middle row, and Henry on the back row. Also, not Sakura, Ethelfred could be good, but I think Henry going to be probably better. But Henry also is good to have his basic attack boost, because he have that debuff that he have in one of his skills. So I don't know how it's going to work better, but probably Boudica, Robin Hood, Henry, or Ethelfred going to be also a good choice. So I only see those Legions. I think there's probably more that I don't have in mind, but if I would say something about, I would say those would be the Legions that are going to be played. So without Boudica as a free-to-play, I don't know. Maybe something with Sakura, Robin Hood, Henry. I don't know. Probably can work. Let's see. We need to test. But interesting hero. Probably not. The thing that I don't like a lot is that he's not very, very versatile. That's the only thing I think from him, but it seems very interesting here. So let's go for the next one, and why it's not sliding. And there it is. Super badass. I love the look. Tura Cartel. So it's a melee, so playable in front lane, and it's a cavalry hero. Let's watch. So we have Serpent Fang. We have a range of 4. It targets 1 random enemy squad. So we have 1 round of prep, 60% chance to do 476% damage to 1 enemy squad, simple, and make the target's troops recovery effects minus 44%. It's stackable, so lasting for 2 rounds. The skill will be cast randomly 3 or 5 times. This part I don't understand. This skill will be cast randomly 5 times. This is a mystery, really a mystery. But even without that, if it's a good skill, the chances are okay. 1 round of prep, so probably 4 times in the battle you can do this. The damage are good for one target, just one target. And you have that troop recovery effect, which is really nice because, for example, I think this is going to be really great to play against the infantry legions that we are playing now, like Harald, because Harald have a lot of healing. He benefits a lot of the healing. That's what makes him tanking a lot. If you reduce the healing, he's going to have probably problems. So this can be a very good counter, actually, for those legions with healer and all the healing, like Theodora. So very nice. I like the skill. I don't understand the thing about the skill can be cast randomly 3-5 times. This is a mystery, needs to be tested. I don't know. But even with that, the skill is interesting. So the classical here, and let's go for Waron, Song of Sunlight. So it's a pre-battle skill. Also something can be silenced. And when the hero squad starts preparing for a prep skill, so when he's going to start preparing the skill, so it's the first round, he prepares, the next round, he casts. So Tura Cartel will enter the Sober Statue. So the Sober Statue, actually, I remember Henry have this also in one skill. I don't remember which one, but Sober Statue is that you can't get silence all those negative effects, you can take them. So the silence, disarming, confusion, all those things like this. So you can take this. So it has a 45% chance to trigger destructive strike. So it's a critical, lasting 2 rounds. Meanwhile, every time the hero gets injured, he'll deal plus 20% damage with the subsequent combat skill stackable, lasting for 2 rounds. So basically, he's gonna be doing 45% chance to do destructive strike for 2 rounds. So he's gonna have this chance to make criticals, and every time he gets damage, he's gonna increase his damage for plus 20. So it's stackable. So more he takes, more he's gonna increase. If he's gonna be hit 3 times, he's gonna increase until 60% damage. It's really a lot. It's really great, and it's gonna last for 2 rounds. That's huge. That's really huge in my opinion. So this means 100% that this hero needs to be played in the front row, because he needs to take the more hits as possible, so he increases his damage as much as possible. So you can probably in middle row, but the best will be in the front row, because you're going to take all the basic attacks. So it's going to increase a lot his damage, and he have critical. So critical going to work, of course, in his combat skill. He have one here, and he have one here also, of course. So yeah, it's combining. It's going to increase his damage, and it's going to make him to be in the front row for sure. But this is going to be also important. So bloodshed sacrifice, combat skill, range of 4. Target 2 random enemy squads within the range. So in round 1, 3, 5 with 1 round of prep. 55% chance to do 300% damage to 2 enemy squads if the target is subject to a statue that stops the target from restoring troops or weakens the recovery. The target immunity against destructive strike. Sorry. Oh, I was reading the upper part. Sorry. No. It's 100% chance to deal. I was also seeing that we're 525% damage to 2 enemy squads, and you have the target immunity against destructive strikes. It's hard to say. Destructive strike. Minus 50% lasting for 2 rounds. Okay, this combined perfectly with the other skills. So what I like in this hero is that all the skills gonna combine together, because obviously this gonna make him to do critical. We're gonna say critical, it's easier. No, it's not this, it's this. This is gonna make him to make critical, okay? So this skill can have critical and do more damage. With this skill, he's gonna reduce the healing effects on the opposite legion. And with this, if he's gonna hit someone who is in healing reduction, he's gonna make him to take more damage from the critical, because you're gonna reduce his defense against the criticals. So you're gonna do more damage with your skills when they're gonna do criticals. So this everything combined perfectly. And we can see that the hero needs to be played front row, so he's gonna increase his damage. It's basically, everything really works very nice. So about the combos, I prepared a small list because I found some few interesting combos for him. I think the hero is kind of versatile. We can really put him with a lot of things. So to start very quick, I think that he's gonna be a front row because of what we saw in that 5 skill. He's gonna need to take damage so he can upgrade his own damage. So it's gonna be interesting to put some healers with him as a support hero. Which also is gonna be interesting is that to use heroes who increase the prep skills, make him skip the prep skills or increase the chances of prep skills. So that's why they are recommending Jeanne d'Arc. So that's a good legion for me. Tura Cartel, Jeanne d'Arc, Louis, or Avalanche instead of Louis is going to be really great because she's going to increase the prep skills. I think she makes the prep skills to skip the round. So it's going to be interesting for Luis or Avalanche, or also for Tura Cartel. So it's going to be a good Legion. Also, Tura Cartel Seed Avalanche, in my opinion, can work also. What we can have also more. So I was thinking about this as a more defensive Legion, Tura Cartel, John, and Warhammer. Because John, Warhammer, yeah, first Warhammer is going to be interesting because Warhammer have healing reduction. So he's going to apply also healing reduction on the enemy. And Tura Cartel going to beneficiate because you can see that in this skill, is going to make the enemy to be more sensitive, we're going to say, of the critical. So it's going to be interesting. Warhammer with him going to be interesting. And John also have a skill who's going to beneficial from this about the healing reduction. So maybe it can be interesting. We'll see as a defensive Legion. We can see also Tura Cartel, Hellfire Warhammer as a very defensive Legion also can be good, I guess. I was thinking also about Tura Cartel, Warhammer, and Lancelot, the paid hero, because Lancelot also makes more damage on enemies who have healing reduction. So since both do that, that can be good. What I noted more, Tura Cartel, Ragnar, Avalanche can be good also because Ragnar gonna increase also the critical, so can be interesting to make a team based on critical. We can also consider maybe to play him as a second row because it will be actually working very well with Roland in the front row, who's gonna of course protect the back row, do a lot of healing, and also work on the prep skills. It will be really good to put him in the second row with Roland, and then back row, for example, Luis or Avalanche, those heroes who also need prep. It will be really interesting, but I'm not sure if it's gonna really work because the thing is that the both heroes, Tura and Roland, needs to be in front row to be the most effective as possible, since they have skins that more hits they take and more effects they're gonna have. But it's something to try. I guess maybe it can work with him in the middle row. We'll see, but it's one of the probability. So that was the main legions I saw as a cavalry, and I think also is going to be good to be paired as mixed legions with Theodora, because Theodora makes the front row hero to do more healing, because more damage he does, more he's gonna heal. It's worked very well. This hero works very well with RL, for example, and it's gonna probably work also with Tura Cartel because he does some good damage. So can be interesting. For example, Tura Cartel, Boudica, because Boudica do also critical, so can be interesting. Tura Cartel, Boudica, Theodora. I don't know what we can put more with him, I was thinking, but there's probably some heroes that we can replace. But Tura and one hero in middle row and Theodora can be interesting. Need to find what we can put here. So, I think this hero is kind of interesting, probably very versatile, more than Robin Hood. So, if he's going to be good, I think yes, I really think he's going to be good. And because the question is always the same, what hero I should recruit? If I would give my opinion, for me, Tura Cartel going to be more interesting to recruit because he seems, in my opinion, he seems stronger and really more versatile. Really more versatile. Well, of course, we're going to recruit the two heroes, but for the tickets, when you're going to choose the ones on the tickets, I think you should go for Tura Cartel. It seems more easy hero to play. Probably going to work with 3 heroes, which is maybe not the case for Robin Hood. So I would recommend to go for this guy. Let's see if I am right about the combos and if he's going to be good, but I think yes. So the video was a little bit long, I guess, but well, I hope you guys still enjoyed all the explanations, because I like to do the videos, but also explain, not just say, oh, this is good, this is bad. I don't think it's really interesting, because I want you also to learn and to know how to do this. So that's it for today. I see you soon for the next videos, and peace out.